just before we start. Ah, yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Sorry, Daniel. Yeah, hey, welcome everyone to the weekly community meeting. You're welcome to add your attendance on the agenda document or add anything that you would like to talk about. If there is anyone new here, that's the time to say hi. All right. With respect to the schedule, I'm not sure there's anything new to talk about. We've passed the code freeze. Yep, not much to say there.
Yeah, let's just mention maybe the tracker, and that basically we want SIGs to go over the webs that are listed in there and kind of clean up or add whatever is missing. I'll post it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. We still have time until the 1.7 planning, but I think we could take advantage of this calm period in order for all the SIGs to, as you said, like do some grooming, see what's going on, and prepare ourselves for the next release. Cool. So CFP check-ins. I think that this one is not relevant, that the CFP had already closed. So nothing in the horizon I see. Okay, so this is a pretty empty agenda. If somebody has anything to talk about, just do that. We can maybe glance over pull requests that need attention or stuff like that.
Maybe we should list those quarantine tests for everybody to see what's needed to be worked on. Lubo, do you have a list?
Daniel Hiller has a list.
I have a list of what? I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
Sorry, Lubo just said that we should probably focus at this time on the quarantine tests.
Ah, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Let me quickly fetch. So I can again advertise the list that we at the 6CI are maintaining. So this basically is the number of reports that we have, and one of these is like the quarantine tests, which is linked on the second to the bottom of the top table. Yeah, exactly. And they can probably see like the list of quarantine tests. And if you search on that page for release blocker, then you would still see some test that is marked as release blocker, and that is that would be the top priority thing that would need to be dequarantined before release. Yeah, I hope that the links still work. So you should, yeah, basically the top of this is the file. I would suggest that you go back to that one, yeah, and directly click on the line that is, yeah.
Oh, so I can click on the line?
You can directly click on the line. You should be directly ported to the code.
Oh, pretty cool. Okay. So do you want to look at the test now? Is it a good use of our time? We can do that.
I don't know. I mean, like, I think that people are already working on that. At least we have also like a dequarantine item, like a quarantine, like a GitHub issue for that one. And I think that Lubo already assigned himself, but I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I didn't follow. This was the topic of this morning's email from 6CI, by the way. So you should be able to read it there. So I don't know if it makes sense to go over this again, because I already mentioned it there.
Yeah. Sorry, probably I made the confusion. I just read what Lubo said, and I thought that there's a list of tests that are not assigned to people that we should be focusing on right now. Is that the case?
I would guess so, because at the moment we only create issues for things that have release blockers. Basically, everything else should at some point be quarantined, but I don't want to force to work on people somehow. I think like everyone is already busy enough with trying to get the fixes in somehow, and so I think like probably the quarantining, the dequarantining should be at some point. I figure like the one of the later steps, but yeah, that's just my opinion. I mean, this might not make sense. I don't know.
So I think particular this test was handled by Federico, but I know that Federico is out of office. So somebody else needs to take over of this. And I haven't seen quite a lot of unquarantined or fixes for this test. So that's why I'm bringing it up again, because this one is going to be blocker, and it's, I think, going to block the RC, which should be done today. And I saw that as part of the CI, we are actually quarantining more tests. So it seems to be that we are discovering more and more tests that are flaky, but the fixes are not there.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell people what to do, right? So the thing is basically that like the SIGs need to clear out for themselves what they want, how they want to clean the quarantine up. I can decide on what you need to work first on. I mean, already like it would be like an improvement if we would somehow like at least be able to group that that page by, for example, like SIG or something. But still, at least it's there, and then you can take at least a look at what tests are currently being quarantined.
Yeah, this is a good question. I mean, maybe we can do that as part of the SIG meeting. The thing is that it's pretty short as it is. It's only 30 minutes, which at busy times it's not a lot. And we already have like the CI meeting, which is going on in parallel. I don't know. This is a good question. Like maybe we should start a sketch for a process or something, and I don't know, discuss how we can tackle this. And I see this really as a more general problem of how we get people to be more involved in like pure upstream work. Let's call it that way, for the CI to be healthy, and for PRs to be reviewed in time, and yeah, all of those stuff.
Yeah, I think I agree. Sorry.
I have a very straight suggestion. Just we can just block the merge unless it's a fix for flag or bug. So it's going to be way easy to push people into working on the quarantines and bug fixes.
I mean, in my opinion, at least. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry, I was speaking over you. Luba, I didn't understand. Block the merge of what?
Of any other PR. Because if people have time to actually contribute features, but not the stability of the system, bug fixes, and quarantine in times of release, then it's probably wrong, right?
But didn't we say that we have a period of development and then we have a period of stabilization?
Yeah, of course, we do, but we don't enforce it.
Yeah, so right now we're in this period of stabilization, right? I mean, we should be focused at this time on bugs and stability issues and not developing features.
Correct.
should.
I'm just we should, yeah, exactly. I'm just worrying with Yarno.
So my point was when you first wrote the sentence that yeah, sorry, the dogs are here. Is that we need to have some kind of a list of troubled areas that we need to focus the attention of people to, and yeah, somehow more explicitly, like as Daniel said.
Yeah, I think like something like make it more explicit. At least, for example, like in the release plan. So we have the schedule, and we should probably introduce some kind of like window where everyone is not working after the probably after the code freeze. Everyone should be concentrating on stabilization. And I thought that would be the case. I'm not sure if like people are seemingly trying to still get their features in. That's at least my impression. I might be wrong. But so I would say at some point we need to cut the line and then see that we get the stable ones and probably even like merge some backports towards the release branch itself. That, yeah, if that makes sense.
To
I mean,
me,
I-
this is exactly it. I mean, this period of time should be dedicated for stabilization.
I mean, the question is how we actually make it happen. Because, like, for example, during web freeze period, I would, I mean, people need to focus on reviews, right? So, but of course, people also are focused on development and on their own tasks or whatever. What happens in the end is that like a small subset of people is reviewing many VEPs, PRs, whatever. And like how do we tell people start reviewing this or else something? I don't know. I mean, we can't really assign, as Daniel said, we can't tell people what to do. I'm not sure. I mean, there are, yeah. I mean, we could go to the route where we have sanctions on, like you said, like no PR gets in until this is fixed or something like that. Yeah.
Is there a list of PRs that are pending review and you think are important to get in right now?
I mean, so we do have the VEP related label, which is pretty new, but this is a good improvement. And we have the tracker, of course, of like which VEPs are waiting and for yeah, maybe we should improve on that as well.
Yeah, but for now, no VEPs should continue, right? Because we're already past the code freeze. So we're at the stabilization stage. So is there a list of PRs that you are interested to get in?
Yeah, this is exactly what I was getting at. I mean, for VEPs, we do have a tracker, and for this, we don't have a tracker. So I'm not entirely sure that we are in this position right now for sanctions. But I mean, I would think about this as focusing on the right things. Like we previously had the VEPs in on the spotlight, and then we had the PRs that are related to these VEPs in spotlight. But now we need the spotlight on these stability issues. And how do we do that? So that's the
I mean,
answer.
maybe we should have a tracker, a separate tracker for CI, and maybe SIG CI can just assign this to SIGs, and we can have a policy that says that during this period, SIGs are focusing on, whatever is important according to SIG CI and stuff like that. I mean, we could come up with something.
I
I'm
think
not
it's a good idea.
sure. I'm
No?
not sure. I'm not sure if I agree about like that 60. I would probably tell other six what they need to work on. I think like it should work like that, in my opinion at least. Like when we have the code freeze, then it should start to go into stabilizing, and then every six should look what it needs to be done to be stabilizing. And if everyone looks at the quarantine test or at the flaky test, then that would probably be what we need to do, right? So and you can see by the SIG labels what everyone has to do somehow. So and maybe they can ask for help if it's too much for one SIG also. So it might be that there may be too many tests that only like the couple of people of SIG would be able to take care of themselves. Sorry, Vladik. Yeah, go ahead, please.
No, it's a good observation. I mean, what I essentially don't know right now is what to focus on. I think what are the open issues, and who is taking care of them. Like if there will be like a tracker for me, for example, is just a list of things where I clearly see that these things needs to be worked on, and then if there's somebody who is working on this or not, and then every SIG can enforce that. But it doesn't have to be a tracker. It just can be some kind of a simple list. And I think maybe just my lack of knowledge, but I don't know where is this list. Like what should I be working on?
I mean, I think that maybe both answers are right. I mean, maybe we should have a tracker so that everyone that notices something that is unstable is being added to the tracker. I agree with you, Daniel, that it's like mostly the SIG's responsibility. Maybe we can like take the time and take the weekly meetings and look at this tracker and try to understand what to stabilize. Another thought that came into my mind is that like if a certain web implementation is causing CI instability, then I guess that this should be led by the web owner. Maybe this is something that we also can include to the policy.
Yes, but would you know? For example, I developed something. How do I know that it's causing an instability?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Someone would have sometimes it's obvious, sometimes it's not, I guess. But sure, I mean, what I think is that just everyone to point at the problem by adding it to some kind of a tracker. I think that everybody that sees the problem could point at it, and yeah, I agree that the SIGs should take ownership on that. I'm just I think the general problem that I raised before still exists, but.
From my point of view, if I may share my opinion, there is like the concern that the test should be as stable as they can be somehow. So like we take out tests into quarantine if they are unstable and hindering everything else. That's basically what we are doing, and that's also why we are generating this quarantine test list, and that would probably, as a first step, already be enough to make it generate enough work items. I mean, you see that on this list are already 14 tests that are being quarantined, which is like I mean, a month or 2 months before this list shrank down to 3, I think, and so we have now 14. So there is like stability issues there from these tests alone, which doesn't mean like that the product code is somehow like faulty or whatever, but that's just only, I mean, there is so much work going into those tests somehow, so that it would be sad to see them like just not being executed, or either maybe it might even be like the right decision to just remove them if they are not doing that what they are destined to be. So
We can start with the quarantine list, and then assign it. Maybe, Luba, before you go, what are the blockers?
I think only this.
Only this?
No, there is a. Sorry for interrupting. I think we have several candidates that can be blockers because of the change with the controllers. So can we just mark it as like if it was triaged, group, I don't know, investigated, and once it is detected that it is because of the last version, so we'll mark it as a blocker. Or maybe we should just split it into two, like identify and then resolve, because there are two steps here. And I think one of the candidates of regression is the SRV flake. Or maybe you raised it, I don't know.
Yes, this flake is maybe due to the separation of the virt handler into 3 controllers. It's hard to tell right now. It needs a thorough investigation.
And do people look at this? I mean, if somebody is assigned to this, do you
Also
need help?
started looking into it, but maybe it's just a symptom. Maybe other things here also suffer from the same root cause. Who knows?
Oh, from other root causes. I mean, we don't know. I mean, I want to know if somebody is working on this and whether they need help.
Yes, this is what I think we should mark. It's like maybe even more steps. Then we need to mark that it was identified and it was, for example, investigated. Then what was the detail? I mean, then we need to solve it, right? So yes, for example, this one was looked at and investigated, but I think needs another investigation. Like the first iteration just attempted to just do a retry on the check. Like you have a check, so we just retry on the check, like with a timeout. But the problem is that maybe the reason that we need a retry now is worse. I don't know if it's worth a blocker. I'm just saying this is like some side effects of changes.
Like my point is that we need to know that people are asking for help. I mean, I'm happy to help. It's just somebody needs to say that their help is needed. We can't just mark stuff and and just continue with that or expect Lubo to fix it. Just reach out and yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry, I'll shut up.
No, I understand what you're saying. I agree. So it means that someone needs to have like a way to expose this, I guess, right? I mean, to raise the flag, I don't know how. Maybe this is the meeting that it should be raised. I don't know.
I mean, we can use the channel, right? If somebody is assigned to something in every SIG, if someone is assigned to look into these bugs and is not able to proceed with them, let people know that help is needed.
So what I'll do from my perspective, I think I owe people probably to create tracker issues for the quarantine tests. That I'll do. I know that at least one exists for the release blocker, and for the remaining ones, I will create GitHub issues so that we have trackers, and maybe the triage then can be followed up in the issues. Would that be okay as a first step? Does everyone think that this is a good idea, or do you oppose this?
Sounds good. I mean, I think we can also move once you open these tickets, for example, then I think should take care of itself. Like they can triage it, they can investigate, and that's it. I mean, if something would slip in the release and it was not marked, it was not escalated, then it's the SIG problem. I hope. I mean, I don't see any other way to do it. The only other way is that someone needs to, like, you can consider each flake as a blocker, and then you need someone to waive it. But I don't know if that's what you want.
I was just thinking about like trying to at least have a tracker where you can have a straight analysis that it's not so that it's not just lost in space somewhere, you know. So I was just wanting to have something. Okay, either someone has looked at it and has done like a thorough analysis and is okay with that, or he points out on that he needs help, but he has already like the things that he did, he can already mark into his issue. So that we have at least a tracking of what the progress of each step is somehow. So that would be probably like something that also Vladek is, for example, asking for. Like, so you can also assign people or like ask people for help on issues, and that might work better like in an offline mode somehow. So yeah.
So I have no, I understand what you're saying. I have no, sounds good to me. The only thing that I wanted to add is that it doesn't assure that it will be taken care of. This, so the scenario of there is a flake, it was raised, it was detected, a quarantine was done, a tracker issue exists, and someone from the SIG will take care of it. At least take care of it. When I mean take care of it, we'll check if it's what is the problem, and assure that it is not a regression, for example, which is bad, or I don't know, soft regression, hard regression, whatever. That continuation is not assured currently. That's what I meant. I mean, it can be missed easily.
So you're saying that somebody looked at it and then didn't ask for help?
Yes, no, someone may not even look at it. So this is what I'm saying. The only
But-
way, yeah, that's it. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that you can you can quarantine it, you can open a tracker, and maybe no one looked at the issue, or someone looked at the issue but didn't vote for it. Like, is it a blocker? It's not a blocker. It's blah blah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if this is in SIG's hands, then on SIG's meeting, the same way we did with webs and then with the PRs, we should we should get track of those things, and then in the SIG meeting, somebody needs to take it, and then eventually, if he's not able to succeed with this, just ask for help from other SIGs in the channel somewhere.
Yes. So I think yes, but I'm just saying that we need to add this to the SIG process. We need to handle this. Like, this is what I
Yes.
meant. Yeah.
Okay, folks, we've reached the end of the meeting. So yeah, thank you all of you for the discussion, and see you in the C Compute meeting. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Goodbye.